Hello there. Welcome to the AFA Podcast, the official podcast of animationforadults.com, and this is a special Christmas episode of the podcast. So, Merry Christmas, everybody!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
I am Christmas. And I am joined.
Oh no!
I'm joined here by Dan Yule. Yule, yeah.
Whoa!
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, watch it, throwing things like that around. Someone's eye out with wit that sharp. Yeah. Hi, I'm Dan Yule.
Are you feeling festive?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I got a cinnamon candle going.
Awesome. That's very festive. Here in the AFA Christmas shack, what we're in. Yeah. Oh, and I'm joined.
But we're sort of divided by screens, so we don't really know what the other's up to.
No.
Which is why you have to ask about what the thing I was doing.
Yeah. And I'm joined by Rachael, the red-nosed reindeer.
Oh my god, this is my sides are hurting.
How's it going?
Good. Very, very good. I'm feeling very festive this week.
Yeah. Should be. I'm festiving it right up here.
I know. I can hear that.
And we are joined by Christmas Eve on.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, it's beautiful.
How's it going?
Oh, thank you, Bob. Thank you.
I may not be able to talk for the rest of this podcast. I'm just gonna keep laughing.
That's beautiful. I'm gonna hold on to that through the holidays. Oh, awesome.
That's a great way to start off the podcast. It's just puns galore.
Yeah, so, Christmas. Woo! Woohoo! Christmas. Yeah. So,
it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, I think.
Would you guys explain that whole cracker pop thing?
The what?
What?
There's like that crap. Those little popper things that we don't have here in the United States.
You don't have them.
You don't have them.
That's crazy. That's almost as crazy as the fact that like the Grinch isn't on TV for us. I'm sure. So what it is like I don't know where. Do you have any idea what the origin is of them, Chris?
No idea.
No one knows, but you have to get them. They are like. Yeah, kind of. They're like little cylindrical sort of like shaped present things.
Uh-huh.
They have like bows either end, which have kind of evolved into handles. And the idea is that inside there is a crap joke or a bad riddle. A useless toy. Usually something like a comb or...
if you're lucky.
If you're dead lucky. If you've got the posh crackers, it's something like that. But more often than not, it's like something like... What would you say they are? Like a spinning top? Like a really bad plastic spinning top or something like that?
Yeah, some piece of plastic crap. And
a
hat.
And no, that's the most important part, is there is like a tissue paper hat.
That you have to wear at the dinner table.
Yeah, it's kind of... Yeah, you really do. Like, if you refuse to wear the hat, it's like, you're Scrooge.
Yeah.
So you really, like, if you're being festive, like, you know, you're wearing a hat, and it's not Christmas until, like, someone grumpy is wearing one of those. It's like, has been clearly forced to wear, like, a tissue paper crown thing. But yeah, basically, you pull them, and you have, like, a handle either end, and you pull them, like, with the person
next to you. Yeah.
Person next to you, and inside is like a little tiny, like cracker, like a. They don't appear anywhere else apart from in crackers, but it's like a little explosive.
Like little poppers, like little poppy 4th of July poppers, those things that you throw down on the ground that pop.
Kind of. They can be
like
pretty.
that.
Yeah, what me and my brother used to do was we used to like daintily, like take the explosive thing from out of the cracker, and then like like have like just like have like a bunch of like 10, like a whole bundle of them, and then pull them, and you could get like quite a bad, scary pop. And you pull a cracker and it's like,
little tiny noise.
Yeah. Okay. We've spent way too long talking about this.
This has been another edition of Chris and Dan trying to explain British crap. Hey,
I learned something new. I don't know about you. Yvonne, I learned something new today.
At least it was Christmassy.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
It was on point in a way.
Relevant. It's like you learn about another culture.
A culture that I did live in for 3 years of my life and somehow missed that.
Really?
That's surprising.
You didn't have to wear the tissue hat?
No, I did not. I mean, I'm sure that maybe that was why I was getting funny looks at the one British school that I ended up going to for 2 of the 3 years. Maybe that's why I got so many funny looks, other than the fact that I didn't have an accent, but...
Oh, you have an accent.
Just not the right one. But anyways, animation.
Awesome.
Animation.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're going to talk about some Christmassy animation, some of our favourites.
They must pull a cracker in the Snowman, actually. They must do.
I don't know.
At the party.
Oh yeah, probably.
And the Snowman, they definitely, I remember that little moment. But I always have to ask, because that's something that's totally foreign here, obviously.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do the mistletoe? Sorry, I'm getting off topic.
One of the Christmas specials that we wanted to talk about was a little British animation called The Snowman that basically was on British. It's been on British TV at Christmas every year since the 1980s, and it is available on Hulu. So our American contingent here got the chance to watch it as well.
Yeah, I remember seeing it a long, long time ago. I forget if it was when I was in London or if it was even before I moved there. But I remember watching it and just absolutely falling in love with it. So I unfortunately couldn't, they don't play it on TV so much anymore here than they do in England. But at the very same, I'll always remember it. And I'm really happy I got the chance to rewatch it now that it's on Hulu.
Woo-hoo. Yeah, I think in America it played with the introduction with David Bowie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Yes, I love that. I love that just as much as the original one.
Yeah, it doesn't really make any sense, but it's just always cool to see David Bowie.
It's always cool to see David Bowie.
Yeah.
Especially if he's the Goblin King.
Oh, man.
It's a very simple story about a little boy who builds a snowman at Christmas, and it comes to life, and they go on a magical journey. Does that sum it up pretty much?
Yeah, basically.
And it's all silent.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that was one of the initial things that struck me when I first watched that movie was the fact that there was no talking whatsoever, and it didn't make it any less enjoyable, or just the fact that the characters any less likable, because you basically got everything you needed to know by their actions and and their facial expressions.
It's based on a graphic novel by it wouldn't have been called graphic novel then; it should be called a
I
comic.
think it's a picture book. Really,
Oh, is it? But
yeah.
Raymond Briggs. I think it's comic style, but it hasn't got any dialogue in it.
Oh, right. No, you're right. Sorry, yeah, it is.
Yeah, he drew comics, or with that, and well, Father Christmas had dialogue in it. But it's famous. The comic didn't have any speech in it, which is not your average comic. So when they turned it into the animation, it's also got no speech in it. It was interesting watching it for me because, as I said, it's on every Christmas in Britain, but it's a long time since I've seen it. I don't even remember when I last watched it.
It's not on at a terribly convenient time. It's always on at like Christmas Day at like 5 p.m. and you're usually doing other things and
pulling crackers.
Yeah, when you're pulling crackers or having a good old
forcing someone to watch your hat.
Yeah.
Wear a hat, even.
Mm-hmm. You know, I have a couple things, and I mentioned these off the air or whatever. The last time when I finally watched this for the first time, because I've never remembered ever seeing it. But there were 3 specific things that I know that it's American perspective that maybe. Oh, yeah. Tell me what you think about this, Rachel. Like, one thing was those dentures. Like, whose are they? And dad a little young to have full set of dentures.
Yeah, I rewatching that kind of story was like, wait, what?
And I was just like, wow, there really must be some teeth issues. And then the other thing was like, the sweater, it just struck me that, and I mentioned this before, like, I mean, if there's snowing outside, it's cold enough for there to be snow, and he, like, only goes out in, like, a sweater, and I just don't know of any, things like, if that was made here, he'd be bundled up.
It kind of, at least as far as that goes, it kind of reminded me like the Polar Express, where basically, all the kids, when they go out to the train, they just go out in their pajamas and their little like nightgown covers and stuff like that, and they're going around in this. I mean, obviously they're in a train for most of the story, but
going out to play in the snow though, I don't know. It just struck me as odd because I grew up for my early years, like snow fort years in Michigan, and so I was just like, "There's no way."
Hey, maybe that kid's just super resilient to cold. I don't know.
All right, so I think I can answer that.
It's just interesting.
And you can tell me if this is not your experience at all, Chris. My experience of Christmas is every single animated special or TV special or movie showing Christmas as being snowy, and it never, ever, ever snowing for me at Christmas. So I would venture a guess that the people making the thing probably didn't know what it was like when it was snowing, and that it would be indeed like, way too cold to go out in just a sweater.
Okay, that's
maybe.
That's interesting.
I mean, what do you think about that, Chris? That's just a guess.
Well, I was going to say one thing is that Britain in the snow is probably not nearly as hardcore as where did you say?
Michigan.
Northern Michigan, yeah.
Yeah, everything's bigger in America, so it was probably,
dramatically
different.
Close to Canada, yeah.
Yeah, we don't really tend to get snow, and particularly around Christmas, we don't. It's usually like February or January, or like earlier in the year when we
basically
get
after the time you want it.
Yeah.
Long after the time you really want it.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time it snowed at Christmas.
That's funny. And then the last thing that struck me, which I just thought was really cute and hilarious, is how he like is so excited and runs outside and he's got like the bare bottom. It just cracked me up because you don't see a lot like that wouldn't play on TV here.
The 80s was a different time.
It's a magical time.
It was dirty old Channel 4 as well.
Just cracked me up.
And like, the kids were more hardy. The parents just used to send them out in the snow, no jumpers on.
That's right.
Fend for yourself.
No underclothes. Just you in the snow and magic.
Flying through the sky.
Oh yeah, that's another explanation. Also magic.
Yeah, magic.
Magic kept him warm.
but everyone loses their teeth.
There's a snowman walking around. So, the fact that he's not dressed up warm enough.
And it's also warm enough for a snowman to melt.
Yeah!
Spoilers!
Spoilers!
No, no.
He doesn't ever melt. He gets so close to that fireplace, too. I think that's part of the reason why you think that might not happen.
And then he jumps in the chest, like, freezer.
Yeah.
And that, like, appears to be warm for him.
Right.
Well, yeah, because like he was staying by the refrigerator door. The kid's holding it open. He's like rubbing his hands, his snowy hands in front of it like it's a fire. It's like,
like an orange
the
glow.
opposite for him. That's one of the things I love about that animated short, or the animated movie so much, is the fact that it was completely silent, and it, like I said, you got to care so much about these characters just from what their little antics off each other, like I said, the thing with the refrigerator, and then jumping on a motorcycle,
yeah, and
driving through the countryside. It's like, and the parents are not hearing this at all. They're still fast asleep.
It was the 80s. Everything's different in the 80s.
And he was a latchkey kid, yeah.
Yeah, just
they were
about.
They were having it off, or just like hungover or something.
Yeah.
He went to the
crackers.
dance party. Goes to the dance party with the snowman.
That was freaking awesome. I love that part. There was that part, and of course the flying sequence. Like that, I had to search for that song that they play during that sequence of the film, and I finally found it on iTunes. I was like, yay! I'm getting all the nostalgic fuzzies.
My least favorite part of the film.
Really?
Yeah,
like
because
the cameras are really cool, though. The cameras are
incredible.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite part about that. But I also like the cat a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the cat.
I did find that, yeah, it did give me complete nostalgic warm fuzzies. I was like watching it, like the hairs stand on end on the back of your neck, and you go, oh, childhood. And the flying bit and everything. But here's a fun fact for you. Apparently, they released the single from it like around the time, and it became a big hit.
It was huge.
But the kid who sings it on the special, the animation, is not the same who does it on the single.
What?
Because by the time that they were recording it as a separate song, his voice had broken.
Oh no! Oh, that's awful.
And then this song becomes this big iconic thing, and now that kid who is that usurper, that complete fraud, who was not the real, authentic, walking in the air kid, he's now a celebrity.
Oh no!
He's called Alan Jones. But
That's
it should
so
be the
bad.
other kid. Should be the
Yeah.
other kid. He'd also now be a grown-up, obviously. But yeah. Yeah.
Well, whatever he's doing with his life, I hope he's well.
That injustice.
Did you guys see a lot of the Rankin Bass? I mean, those are the films that I see that.
Right.
Like,
All the Rankin Bass movies.
Actually, weirdly enough, for me, I didn't watch The Snowman that much as a kid. The one Christmas special that I watched the most, definitely, was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah.
The Rankin Bass.
Yeah.
Is it called Rudolph and the Island's Lost Toys, or? Because there's like a whole.
The Red-Nosed Reindeer here.
Right, there's like a whole subplot, which
Isn't that like a separate one?
No, it's on the same one.
Yeah, like there's this crazy like subplot with like an abominable snowman and this dude with a beard, and there's a fucking like elf who wants to be a dentist.
Totally. Yeah.
Yep, that's all there.
Who's clearly like the gayest character you've ever seen in anything.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Boy, we have to watch that again. It says it's only 47 minutes long. It always feels way longer.
No, I felt like I watched that, over like days.
I've
know,
never
right?
seen it.
Have you
We
not?
have not.
No, it's not the same in the UK. like I said, the Snowman was on every Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
In my experience, anyway, the Rankin Bass things weren't on in the same way. Over, they're not quite the same, not held in the same special place. But it's interesting that you said about you watching it, because I found out that my best friend loves that. Like, it's her favourite growing up thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting because I didn't ever see it growing up.
Yeah, it was on they played it on children's BBC, like Christmas morning like Christmas morning.
I was too busy pulling crackers or something.
Yeah.
Is that going to be this episode's running gag?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Or playing with pirate Lego or something.
Alright, there you go.
Yeah.
But it was just, actually, it was one of the few things I watched which, I think my mum used to watch it. Heavens knows how she used to watch it. But, I guess it was on TV.
Yeah, it must have been, but
it was one of like the few things I could watch with my mum and my dad, and they really enjoyed it and they were really entertained by it, because like it has it's really funny for starters, but it has like, that snowman. I'd much rather spend my Christmas with this snowman, because he looks like because he knows shit, and he like he's still there. I don't know.
He's the omniscient outside the story snowman.
Yeah, I'd rather spend Christmas with him than Raymond Briggs's unreliable snowman.
No, it's not his fault. What happens to him? What a bummer of an ending.
I guess not.
Oh, happy Christmas, children. Your new friend, he's dead.
Yeah.
You have him for a season and then he's gone.
Like a day. Yeah.
Speaking of semi-depressing Christmas, is then I was watching this week that I'm probably going to have to watch again for Christmas Eve, because it's become a tradition in my family, is watching Charlie Brown Christmas.
Oh.
So
okay.
Totally.
So that's it.
That's really. I got to ask you about that, because I've only really seen that because I've like found it online, and that's never been on TV.
Yeah.
In the UK.
No. Well,
to my knowledge,
they always play it at least once or twice on one of the channels in here in the US.
And the thing that I was really surprised about, and this is kind of what like Christmas can get away with, which is something I think that like the Snowman gets away with, in that it has like a really downer ending, really.
Well, the ending is go ahead. Sorry,
it's just that like Charlie Brown Christmas is just so melancholic, and it's really like quite adult, like in the way how it just opens, and Charlie Brown is just like out of his mind, depressed about that Christmas is here again, which is like quite an adult problem, I think.
Yeah, he's a little adult, and I mean, but Frosty the Snowman is the same way. Did you guys ever watch that? It's like dopey snowman special. Oh, really?
Nope. Because we have the Snowman, so I guess we didn't.
You don't need Frosty.
We don't need an imported snowman. We've got our own. We've got our own
your snowman doesn't need a name.
Yeah, he's just the snowman.
So, and that was another Rankin Bass.
I think so. Yeah.
Do you know where these were actually animated though?
Japan.
Yeah, they were animated in Japan. So
really?
Hey, not all Japanese animation's the same, eh?
Well, it was animated in Japan in the same way that The Simpsons animated in Korea, right?
Well, there was a studio, I think it's called Topcraft, that did a lot of,
and Topcraft also the studio that produced Nazca.
It's all connected.
But Dan, what you were saying about Charlie Brown not being on in the UK?
Yeah. Am I wrong?
Well, yeah. It's probably just. I used to be on like children's BBC. I don't know necessarily that specific thing. There was. I don't know if it.
Okay, I know what used to be on.
There was
it was the Charlie Brown and Snoopy show.
Yeah. So, and there were specials as well. I remember there being a New Year one.
Yeah, there was a New Year, and there was a Halloween special, and a Thanksgiving special. Yeah, that's actually, I think, there's a whole, like, DVD collection of all the Charlie Brown Christmas, you know, there's the Charlie Brown Christmas, and all the other holiday specials are on, like, one DVD package now. It's like they're being sold on Amazon, I think. But, yes, there's a whole bunch of them. But, yeah, everyone always comes back to the Charlie Brown Christmas special. And it's interesting because, like you said, Dan, it's like it is very melancholic. And it is, you know, it starts out with Charlie Brown, you know, lamenting the fact that Christmas is coming. Or mainly, I wouldn't say more lamenting Christmas. It's just the fact that he just doesn't understand why everyone else gets happy about it. Whereas
but I mean, like, everything about the way, like, it opens with them singing that song, and they just sound like they want to die, those kids.
I thought they always sounded happy.
Oh, really? Oh, for me, I always heard them singing that, and I was like, sorry, Yvonne?
No, it is a pretty depressing song, honestly.
Yeah, they're like, Christmas time. It sounds like they've been forced to sing.
Well, when you think, well, I'm doing an article on this special, believe it or not, so I'm going to have, I'll have that up on the website soon, but I actually did some research into the special's background, and it was put together on a shoestring budget. They didn't have a whole lot. They actually only finished it and got, you know, to be ready to be aired only 10 days before it had to be aired on TV for the first time in 1965.
Like, it must have, like, because it must have been on, like, film. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a really big deal, like, in the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it was also the first, I think, one of the very first instances where they hired, you know, all an exclusive, you know, child actor cast. So who knows? Maybe that's why to certain ears it sounds a bit more kind of like dull and melancholic, because, you know, you've got a whole bunch of kids and you just, you know, stand them in rooms like, okay, kids, I want you to sing this song. It's going to be on TV.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm not sure. I think that was for me, it's there. For me, it's really there. Like, the intention behind it. Mm-hmm. Like, the voice director must have known what he was doing.
I think so. I mean, after rewatching the special for the review and taking a bit more of a careful look at, there is definitely a lot more to the Charlie Brown Christmas special than a lot of people, you know, it's at least the people who are kind of like mixed feelings about it, they get more than they give it credit for. And I can understand, at least, even though I grew up on it, I never really understood why so many other people liked it, or why it was a tradition in my family to watch it every single Christmas Eve.
Wow. That's a really, like, strange place to go on Christmas Eve, I think. Because, like, I can imagine just as an
it's
adult
basically how we end the day. Like, we'll go about our own business for most of the day, and then sometimes we'll go to I live near Longwood Gardens, and they've got a whole set of Christmas tree lights set up around the gardens and a whole bunch of different Christmas displays. We'll see that, like, after it gets dark, and then come home, have a spaghetti dinner, and then pop on Charlie Brown Christmas. And that's how then we go to bed. That's basically my Christmas Eve. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I don't know. And actually what you were saying about it being really low budget is, I think, like, part of, like, the charm of Christmas specials all round is the kind of creaky around the edgeness that a lot of them have. I think the Snowman kind of is beautiful, but it has it. Definitely. And Charlie Brown Christmas is also, I love the design. It's so, like, 60s, and, like, it's got the amazing jazz soundtrack going on.
Oh yeah, that's also another family tradition with that.
Yeah, the soundtrack you can just, like, put on, and it's great Christmas music.
They play it on the radio all the time. My family decorates our tree to it. It's very popular, and for good reason.
Yeah, but, like, it's kind of like the animation is a bit rough around the edges. Like,
it's definitely rough around the edges. It's probably like one of the, like, even compared to some of the other Charlie Brown holiday specials, it's definitely like one of the, I want to say cheapest, but it's I don't know. Because
no, the animation's like super limited, and there's like mistakes in.
Oh yeah.
Like, where Lucy is should like be behind the psychiatric desk she's made, and she's kind of like floating in front of it a bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's still got even you. I'm sorry. I'm stumbling over my words again. Blech. It has a charm all of its own. So like if you helps you look past a lot of the big issues. I personally think, but that's everyone can see it with, you know, have their own opinion about it.
Another like classic American TV special that again wasn't as much on the UK, but was the Chat Jones How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
I love that one. That's if I had to pick one of my favorite Christmas specials of all time, other than the Charlie Brown Christmas, it's probably the Grinch. Yeah, the Grinch is so much fun.
I feel like I've only seen it sort of relatively recent. I feel like it wasn't on when I was little.
Oh yeah. Oh no, it definitely wasn't. The only place I knew it was like there's like a tiny clip of it in Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
But like that's the only place I saw it. It's really odd how it just was not on, because we had our own things.
Yeah. Snowman.
Snowman, and then we had things which weren't necessarily Christmassy, but were just on. Like
Wallace and Gromit. Yeah, they're not Christmassy at all, but they were on.
But they mean Christmas.
But also on every Easter, every bank holiday, every.
Mm-hmm. But they premiered at Christmas.
But Aardman did do Christmas special with the Robbie the Reindeer shorts, which are also very charming.
I don't remember those at all.
They were done for comic relief, apparently, like as a charity thing, and they had lots of comedians doing the voices. Ardlo Hanlon was the main character, and they had every sort of. It was a who's who of British comedians doing the voices.
Ah.
And it was based. I think the first one was based around the reindeer games, but it was like an Olympics.
Okay.
It's called Hooves of Fire with Robbie the Reindeer.
That's hilarious.
And then obviously there's sort of Christmas films. What's everyone's favourite animated Christmas film? Anything?
Animated Christmas film. That's tough.
That is incredibly tough. It's mostly shorts for me.
Yeah. Oh, I tell you what, there is one which is like only relatively recently shot to the top of the list for me. Tokyo Godfathers.
I knew that was coming.
I still need to see that.
It's a Christmas film in as much as like Christmas is a thing at all in Japan. In that like there are Christmas trees, I guess, and there's a general like seasonal festive kind of feeling, but
well, there is the kind of sort of baby Jesus angle to the plot as well.
Oh, of course, yeah.
It's thematically. Oh, Rachael, it is apparently on Crackle, the Sony's video streaming website until New Year's Eve.
Oh, okay, good. So I can watch it later. Awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
That is a lovely film.
Check it out. Like it's just it's really cozy, and I think kind of like the best things to watch at Christmas. Mm-hmm. It goes in some kind of awkward places, and the characters are lovable, but they're not necessarily the nicest people in the world, and they kind of
like most people.
Well, yeah, but they get to like a tone, and I think like for me, the big thing hanging over Christmas really is A Christmas Carol. And the whole idea of someone redeeming themselves at Christmas, but by redeeming themselves, having to like go to a place where they have to admit not very nice things about themselves.
Mm-hmm. And there are Muppets there.
Okay, so this is really the Christmas tradition for my family, and it has been since I can remember, which
Muppet's
is
Christmas Carol.
Muppet's Christmas Carol, and you have to like
heck, frickin' yes.
Yeah, we'll like seriously, we'll make sure that by Hell or High Water we watch that before Christmas Eve or on Christmas Eve.
Gonzo and Rizzo, some of the best narrators for the Christmas Carol ever.
It's my favorite version of the story, apart from the book.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. It's so efficient and funny and entertaining. That's perfect.
Are you saying your favourite version isn't the Robert Zemeckis, Jim Carrey, CG abomination?
Unfortunately, it's not. The one where he's like raiding a chimney or something. Some fucking ridiculous thing like that.
I wanted to like that.
I can't remember.
I really wanted to like that movie, but I tried watching it recently when it was on TV, and I was watching at least for like 10 minutes. I'm like, I am so not invested in this. Mm-hmm. I was kind of amazed. I'm just like, it's a Christmas Carol. I love the story of the Christmas Carol. I've loved almost every single version of it that I've seen, and this is finally the one I'm watching. I'm like, I can't get into this, no matter how hard I try.
Yeah, something about it is just like. Do you know what a really good adaptation actually is? In the 70s, there was an Oscar-winning special directed by Richard Williams.
Right.
That's
right. I totally used to watch that.
Yeah, and that one actually is also really pretty good, and it does stand up.
And Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Oh, yes.
Never seen that.
That was the first version of the Christmas Carol I ever saw.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Not gonna lie.
I'm pretty sure the same here.
But, yeah, it's like I watched that, and then it was followed by the Muppet Christmas Carol. But, yeah, Scrooge McDuck, man. He's awesome.
Yeah. And
that's where he first made his appearance, and then they kind of had him in a whole bunch of other different Disney stuff afterwards.
That makes sense. I never even thought of that. That's what's McDuck. That's crazy.
Did I just blow your mind, Dan?
You did a bit.
Awesome.
That makes sense. Oh my god.
I forgot all about this Richard Williams Christmas Carol. This was always on.
Oh really? Yeah, I'm like Ken Harris animated on it, and Alistair Sim.
Yeah.
did Scrooge.
Jesus, no wonder. It's so funny. I mean, I remember being hypnotized by this. I'm sure that it's influenced, my brain.
Hey, we were talking about animated films, Christmassy ones, and we haven't mentioned Nightmare Before Christmas, which is...
yeah.
Which is obviously one of the pantheon that you have to watch every year.
And there's an age-old, 25 or however old the film is, debate about whether it's a Christmas or a Halloween movie.
I think recently someone said that it's a Halloween movie, and it was definitive.
But Henry Selick did, didn't he?
Yeah, but
Henry Selick said it's a Christmas movie.
He said it's a Christmas one, or not?
I'm pretty sure he said it's a Christmas movie. Definitely a Christmas movie.
Well, even if he said it wasn't, it's a Christmas movie. I'm having it as a Christmas movie because I watch it every Christmas.
Right. I like how it kind of sits in that very uneasy place in between Halloween and Christmas.
Mm-hmm. What's great about it is you can start watching it at Halloween and then watch it right through till Christmas.
There you go. But particularly here, we don't have Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Between Halloween and Christmas, it really seems to make sense. Because after Halloween, I'm just looking forward to Christmas. The year's basically packed up then by Halloween.
People might say that the definitive answer is giving away the fact it was released at Halloween or thereabouts, but I still say Christmas. Christmas! Because I want it to be a Christmas movie. Oh, and a couple of other Christmassy special episodes. Futurama have done really good ones. Because they have because they have a whole mythology around Christmas where Santa's a robot, and he goes out and his programming with the naughty list got messed up, so he goes out and kills people.
A bit like Krampus, really.
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, Christmas horror is a whole thing, and they've kind of played with that in Futurama.
Christmas horror is like a whole thing in Britain. I'm not sure if like this is a thing so much elsewhere, but like there will be like really scary ghost stories on TV and things.
That goes back to Christmas Carol, I assume.
Totally.
Oh, of course it must. Yeah, but like Mark Gatiss adapts like M.R. James things. He started doing it last year.
Yeah, I think it's a tradition that sort of fell out of favour because I think people you can't have horror at Christmas, and I think it's sort of come back.
Yeah, the BFI has a great bunch of collections where they've like collected those films. But scary stories is like a weird. Yeah, like you said, I guess it is has its origins in Victorian traditions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like Christmas to me kind of makes sense as a time to watch scary things.
Well, I mean, the origin of Christmas itself, right, before it became was sort of taken over by Christianity. I mean, there are roots in all kinds of different things. And then, in the story of Santa Claus, right, there are different variations which are a heck of a lot creepier. I don't know. I think it naturally lends itself. I mean, I suppose it's because my family is not particularly religious, so right. I see it as I also sort of see the natural connection between horror movies and Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, actually, that makes sense. I think that tradition's kind of in like Gremlins.
Ah, yeah, that's yeah.
That movie.
Another one of the best Christmas movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
better answer when people say that to when they say, "What's your favourite Christmas movie?" and they make the joke, Die Hard. Gremlins is much better.
Yeah.
Although, how great would it be if you went to like a school play and they put on a production of Die Hard with like little 6-year-olds running around going yippee-ki-yay, or Gremlins.
I know that would be good to see a 6-year-old do an impression of Alan Rickman. So, that'd be great. So, were you going to talk about animation Christmas presents?
I was.
Animation-related Christmas presents?
Yeah, I was wondering what the best animation-related Christmas presents people had, and I think definitely right up there is what I got last year, which was some lovely storyboards from My Neighbour Totoro.
I saw those.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so jealous of them.
Yeah, my sister got them for me, and it was like this complete surprise. There's a Japanese gallery in London.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a friend of mine got some too, and I called and they didn't have any. But they looked amazing.
Yeah. And also, like, the lady in the gallery helped my sister pick out a really key part of the plot as well. It's like the bit where May's ringing up the university when May's gone. No, not May. Satsuki.
Yeah, and she's using the old phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And
that is a pretty good gift. Yeah.
And I always love an art book as well. Love an art book. But my favourite one wasn't a Christmas present, so I can't really. That'd be the Totoro Forest Project, which is amazing. I've talked about before, I'm sure.
Oh, you have that book?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, I had to because I was working because you had to order it American time, and it was like midday American time, Pacific, and I was working in the evening. So it was only because I managed to get my dad to order one for me, and I got it, and they were like sold out in minutes, and that's not Christmassy. What about you, Christmas animation presents? Anything?
Me?
In mind? Yeah.
Of course. No, seriously. Like I've been into animation for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Not exclusively, but it's always been one of my interests.
Mm-hmm.
So, where to start? So I think like my earliest is actually, there was a Wallace and Gromit plasticine model kit that I got. Yeah. And you could make Wallace and Gromit and Feathers McGraw.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen this chicken?
Yeah, exactly. And that was like one of the first. And then a couple of years later, I got like a flip book set where it was just like it was not very good. It was just like a crappy little thing that explained how to make flip books. And I was enamored with it. And like the when I was done with it, like the little book was just tatters because I used it so much. And then, actually probably the most important one I think I've ever had is, I didn't know what this book was, but my dad got me, and he must have like done his research. He got me the Richard Williams animated survival kit when I was 16.
Oh wow, I only got that a couple of years ago.
And it was before I went to art school or anything. And it was literally like the Bible. It was like being handed just like secrets. So I think that's probably up there with like it was the most important like animation related Christmas gift I've ever had, because it is the thing that really like broke open the I don't know what you call it, Pandora's box of animation, I guess, for me. The nice Pandora's box, where it's just seriously just after that point I was gone. I was framing through DVDs to like study scenes, and started looking out for like animators' names, and started learning who animated which scenes and things like that. And it's pretty much all down to that book.
Wow. That did remind me earlier about the Wallace and Gromit thing, is that I had a Wallace and Gromit alarm clock. A 3D talking alarm clock, and it went, "Morning Gromit, time for walkies." And you had
my friend had one of those. I was so jealous.
You had to press the slippers to turn it off or snooze. Yeah, that got me through my school years, that did. Waking up every day. "Morning Gromit, time for walkies."
Awesome.
Yvonne, have you got any memorable animation-related Christmas presents that you can remember?
It's funny because I was just thinking that that book that you're talking about, it took me forever just to wrap my head around that, because I didn't really study animation at all, but I studied painting. So, I mean, I get a lot of art supplies, even when there was a time period we had the, like, bare minimum for Christmas, but we'd always get something we could draw with. But yeah, I think the biggest gift I ever got was, I still use it now. It was like 7 years ago, I got a Cintiq.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know.
That's a huge Christmas present.
It was like a split gift. Like, I bought half, like, but it was, that was the best one. But yeah, mostly it was art supplies. I think those were, that was, obviously that's totally related, but it was all about drawing pretty much for every holiday. It was, always exciting to get. Like, I think one Christmas I got an easel, I think when I turned 18, and that was just like, I don't know, it's just instilled this sense of pride for me, because I was just like, my parents bought me an easel, and I thought, oh, they're taking me seriously.
Yeah, no, I know that feeling. I know that feeling where it's like, oh my god, you realize that this isn't just going to end up in the cupboard in 2 weeks.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just really, really cool. So, but yeah, all that's related.
Not much has changed either. It's just, just like this Christmas, like people have been like, "What do you want?" And I'm like, "Well, there's this art book, and you know."
Any other Christmas topics people want to talk about at all? Any animation-y Christmas memories?
Anything that's related. Animation Christmas memories. You know, when we were kids, like, the Disney Vault was still a thing. It doesn't seem to be that way nowadays. Like, I was walking through HMV today, and I'm pretty sure, like, every Disney movie was available.
Wow.
But I remember, like, Christmas was when Disney movies used to be on TV. And that was probably the time when I first, like, discovered, like, I don't know, Robin Hood and Sword in the Stone and just like a bunch of Disney movies, which were not on at any other time of the year.
Yeah, Christmas TV used to be a real treat when you were growing up.
Yeah.
It was like the big, you get the Christmas radio times and you flip through it and you go to the film.
Radio times,
yeah.
Yeah, the TV times.
Yeah. We didn't talk to your sort. Rivalry. This has been another edition of Chris and Dan Explain British Things. don't explain British things and just talk about them and no one understands what we're talking about.
No, I love it.
They were the TV listings, like TV guide, and the BBC had one called Radio Times, and then the other channel, ITV, had TV Times, and you used to back in the day, you used to have to buy both if you wanted to know what was on all the channels. but then one day, they put them all together in one. And,
but there was still a kind of like weird stigma around, like, I don't know. It's so stupid.
TV Times.
It's so stupid.
Radio Times is for classy people.
Kind of, yeah, because primarily it had radio listings. And posh people listen to radio at Christmas, and riff-raff watch ITV.
That's really funny. So it's like the NPR listing?
Seriously, yeah, but like, it's so funny. Like, I guess that really is like how far like class issues go into British culture. Where like, really, like a magazine can really determine like your cultural background.
We're not an ITV house.
Yeah, exactly.
We watch the BBC here, don't you know?
How did we even get onto this? We were talking about
that Christmas TV. Yeah.
Yeah, Christmas TV.
Actually, they've actually, talking of Christmas TV and the BBC, they've actually done a really nice little animated short thing.
Oh, the Sprout.
Yeah. That's another British cultural thing about having Brussels sprouts at Christmas and no one liking them.
But us having them anyway because it's tradition.
Because damn it, it's Christmas, and yeah, it's this little short, and it's narrated by Peter Capaldi, and it's got this little sprout that nobody wants at Christmas, and everyone kicks him out, and they won't have him. But then at the end, he has a big Christmas dinner with CG versions of Peter Capaldi and Idris Elba and all the people on telly at Christmas. And it's really cute.
Oh, and also on Christmas Boxing Day, there's a new Shaun the Sheep special.
Oh yes, which is also, if you're in America, you can watch it now. Well,
what?
You could watch it before on Amazon Prime, because Amazon bought the rights to it.
Jeezy crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I complained about this on Twitter ages ago when I found out about it. It's like, why are they getting it first?
Well, actually, I remember A Matter of Life and Death premiered in Australia.
What?
Yeah. I remember, like, it was on, like, in November.
That's not fair.
In Australia, when the year that was released.
And also on Boxing Day, same day, there's a big documentary about Aardman as well.
Oh, cool.
I think it's called like a grand night out or something, and it's a history of the awesome studio that is Aardman.
Brilliant.
Who are very much a Christmas institution in the United Kingdom, much like the California Raisins are in America.
Are they?
That was a Christmas special, I remember. It was weird.
What?
There was like a product.
I thought you meant the food. I thought you meant like.
Yeah, California Raisins.
They were a thing.
They had a stop motion special about Christmas.
Oh God, that's right.
They were a band. Yeah.
My goodness, I forgot all about that.
Oh no, they're bad. Let's not talk about them. They're terrifying.
Yeah, really creepy. Yeah, I blocked that out. Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah.
When I was trying to wrap my mind for Christmas specials, like California Raisins was a thing. That was weird.
Oh man, there were little action figures. Jeez.
Alright, no, I'm pretty lucky I missed them.
Yeah, sincerely. That'll give you nightmares. That's what I'll be dreaming about.
Just
watch the He-Man and She-Ra Christmas special instead.
My friend has a tradition with that. Where like he's like he lives in Calgary and he's been doing it for like 8 years. And they go and all of his friends get together. They did it last night and like they watch the He-Man Christmas special. And it's turned into like a whole party now where they have like games and like He-Man related gift exchange. And then amazing. It's all like leading up to watching the Christmas special.
Have you ever seen it?
I have. It's freaking mental.
Skeletor finds the spirit of Christmas. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about Christmas a lot.
Wow, we sound like we're really looking forward to it, right? You've all gone a bit Charlie Brown. We need to watch Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, people who've watched the Peanuts movie, is it Christmassy at all?
Yeah, the opening is.
Because the advert, the trailers made it look like they would because Peanuts is very much associated with Christmas, and it's come out towards Christmas, and I wondered if they play that up much.
The opening is set at Christmas.
Yeah, they talk about Christmas.
I think that's pretty smart for them to have done.
It's actually quite an all-year-roundy kind of film, I think.
Yeah, but if they start at Christmas, then you can say, oh, it's a Christmas movie, but then you can still watch it all year round.
Yeah. I want to watch it again. Because I was really surprised by it. Like, it's really just like a mixtape. It's so odd. Of jokes and situations that they've just mined from the specials and from the comics. I mean, it's not bad, but it's just like, it's so weird.
I think it's weird how they sort of, okay, again, like I didn't sit down with the movie, but from the bits and pieces that I watched, it's interesting how they integrate, like 3D elements, right? And obviously the whole thing's rendered, but that flatness, I mean, they really try and keep that 2D element of it, right?
I was saying this last week.
So strange. Yeah, really interesting.
Last week with Rachael, there's like a shot where he drops his pencil, and they suddenly, out of nowhere, like there's this like POV 3D shot where you like follow the pencil.
Yeah.
Like it's a shot from Mouse Hunt. Like,
yeah.
Like, as it falls down the classroom. And it really, like, threw me out for a second. I was like, oh, okay.
Strange.
Yeah. No, I really like how they keep to, like, the 2D. And, like, even to the extent of, like, when Snoopy, like, puts his nose in the air, his, like, his volume is really inconsistent, and he turns really thin. And they keep all that stuff.
So strange. And then, so you get that sort of, they flatten things out to keep it true to whatever the original design, I guess. But then you have these hair textures. It's the strangest thing. It's really, really interesting. I don't know, I have to sit down and watch it properly.
Yeah, the only thing that, like, it kind of missed for me was, like, the specials, like, had that kind of really 60s, like, graphic kind of styling where the sky would just be purple and it would work. Do you know what I mean? Like, that kind of...
Totally.
Like, coloring style, and the movie, like, went for really, realistic lighting.
Mm-hmm.
And everything is, like, the color it should be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was just glad there wasn't, like, technology all over it. I mean, because I didn't really even read that much about it because I was a little bit...
Oh, do you know what? Yeah, I was saying this we were talking, like, about this last week with Rachael, and I was saying, like, there came a point where the technology not being a part of it became so noticeable for me.
Yeah. It felt yeah.
Like watching it like a period piece.
Yeah, totally. I could see that. I thought that a couple times just watching what I did, like wondering how kids were relating to it, or if it was an issue at all. You know what I mean? I was like, wow, these kids are really active, and there's no technology.
Did you listen to last week's episode?
Oh, I didn't. I know I haven't had a chance to. Usually,
because I went over this, and I was like, I got into like this whole thing where I was like, is this even a film for the 21st century?
Hilarious.
Like,
okay.
What are kids? No, it's really odd that you mention it because I was thinking about that chat this week, and I was like, man, I was being like way too, like, I shouldn't have been like analyzing the film like that. But now that you're talking about it, I'm like, oh, maybe it's okay that I was because
totally.
Yeah, and I was like thinking like, well, what is a movie that's for the 21st century?
Right.
And I was kind of thinking that I think the Lego movie is.
Huh.
And it kind of, it's not a huge part of the movie, but the world he lives in is a little bit more relatable maybe to kids growing up than this kind of white picket fence, like, Peanuts world, I think, for kids nowadays at least.
Well, the real difference, just listening to the dialogue of the movie is the kids in the movie are super introspective. That seemed like more of a difference.
What do you mean? Like of each other?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, what are their major concerns are like, I mean, and these are all things that are relatable to everybody, at any age, to some degree for sure, but it was like, how do I fit in? Does so-and-so like me? Like, they're introspective with their problems, but there's never, there's an extra component that we have now that runs wild in our culture, and it's this whole, like, selfie posting kind of, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, like, okay, so you mean like a kind of, like, like awareness of how everyone else sees them.
Yeah, whereas these days I almost feel like, I don't know, there's so much posting and so much
look at me.
Bravado, yeah, based on...
Rather than, oh no, everyone's looking at me.
Yeah, that's what struck me. I just kind of wondered...
So the way that people were behaving was just not like... So I think that was like really a product of the fact that they were forced to reuse all this material that had not been written, that was written in like the 60s and maybe the 70s.
I think it's fine. I mean, I think it's fine that they did, I think, but it feels...
No, it's fine, but I think like it's kind of, they're not going to be able to avoid the fact that it doesn't relate in a certain way.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's just interesting. I mean, I definitely thought about these things too as I was sort of like taking in the dialogue.
I'm really glad that you did, because I was like sat there, and as I said, like my mind kind of wandered when the Red Baron scenes came up.
Right. Interesting.
I didn't kind of completely get how it tied in. I understood like Snoopy is basically Charlie Brown's like id, kind of. But beyond that, I just like, my mind wandered and I began thinking about all this stuff as well. It's really odd that you like, and interesting that you seem to react in a similar way.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'll have to listen to podcasts on my commute. I usually do, but I've been cramming things even into my commutes in this last week. But that's really, really interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, I'll be wanting to talk into the headphones.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. Oh, Christmas. We're talking about Christmas.
Well, it's a Christmas movie, apparently.
That's really interesting.
Well, maybe the next time you're on a show, I might have seen Peanuts by then, and we can have some more conversation about it.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, definitely. You've seen Snoopy and Charlie Brown, the Peanuts movie. There's a big billboard on my way to work, and I was really confused. It's not called Charlie Brown and Snoopy. It's called Snoopy and Charlie Brown. So weird.
And it was the Charlie Brown and Snoopy show, wasn't it?
Oh, it's so weird.
It wasn't Snoopy and Charlie Brown show.
It's so weird. It's such a title like made by the marketing team.
They're thinking Snoopy's more famous. People know who Snoopy is.
Mm-hmm. Put
Snoopy first. That is what it is, isn't it?
It is, and I think that's why once the film comes out, people are going to really react strangely to it and kind of remember what Peanuts actually is, or even realize what it is, because it is really selling itself like a happy-go-lucky, feel-good romp. And it's really not. It's it's a really character-driven like piece.
Yeah, it's like a Woody Allen film.
Yeah, I'd say it's less suitable for kids than Inside Out. For young,
I think, as I said, I think people in the UK are more aware of Peanuts than you maybe thought they were. I think.
Yeah. I don't know. I saw people taking like kids to the preview who just like clearly didn't have like kids who were like 6 and just thought, oh, an animated film, and just like didn't really expect it to be paced the way it was.
Yeah, well, people don't do their research, do they? but fun as it may be to make fun of the title, it's not like it never happens the other way. Like Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Anybody? Philosophers.
Yeah, and Pirates, Band of Misfits.
Yeah, because you can't have a scientist in the title.
Yeah.
That's just weird. Yeah, so strange. No, honestly, the Peanuts, I never really cared for Snoopy, even growing up. I think I was just a serious child or something. But I was just like, I thought the dog was goofy, and I just really thought Charlie Brown was cool.
That's
really?
Dog.
Oh,
yeah.
I had the opposite
dog,
reaction.
Goofy.
My grandparents, like, the room I stayed in, when I used to stay over their place, had like a mirror that had like a print of Snoopy on it. So like it was partly a mirror, but part of the mirror was also obscured by like Snoopy sitting on his doghouse. And then in the same room there was like a cabinet, and in the cabinet were like old collectible Snoopy toys of him like skiing, playing tennis, all sorts of things like this. So for me, Snoopy was always like more recognizable, and I thought he was a really cool design.
Oh yeah,
no, that's true. Like, it's just one of the best like designs.
Iconic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, proper iconic. Yeah. But that will be at. Oh, I guess probably by the time this is out, was it Snoopy and Charlie Brown : a Peanuts movie will have been released in the UK, probably. Because it's coming out 21st of December, after Star Wars. So, lots of people will be paying attention. Right, I think probably that's about time to wrap up. We've got lots of Christmassy topics and some crackers, lots of crackers. So, we've been educational.
Yes.
So really, all that leaves us to do is to say a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all of you listening, if you celebrate, that is. If you don't, then Happy Thursday or whatever, I don't know.
Friday.
Just have a good time.
Friday, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it was Thursday last year, so it's probably, yeah. Happy Friday, whatever. Enjoy, have a good time, whatever you're doing, and we will be back soon. I don't know when our next episode will be. Might not be until after the New Year, but we'll keep you posted. And it's time you can keep up with everything on AFA blog on Twitter. You can follow us on Facebook and Tumblr and Pinterest, and you can also keep up with us on animationforadults.com. You can follow me at Mr. Christor, which is Mr. spelled out as a word, and then Chris, then Tor. You can, Dan, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Hamu, HAMMO.
And Yvonne?
I am on Twitter at Eisner_Inc. And also, if you want to submit a film to Animation Nights New York, go to animationnights.nyc.
So where can we find you, Rachel?
You can find me at Fail2Ninja on Twitter.
And we will see you very soon. So, season's greetings, fare thee well, and Happy Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, everybody! And a Happy New Year!
Woohoo!
Aww.